Welcome to the Phoenix Prosperity Podcast, where wealth meets legacy. Join your host, Tim Fergestad, as we explore the journeys of Phoenix's finest to success and beyond.
Hello, this is Tim Fergestad. Thank you for joining us again. I'm very pleased to have Justin Volrath with me here today. Justin is the CEO and founder of PayCompass, an electronic payments technology company located here in Tempe. Justin founded the company in 2020 with his wife and now employs over 35 people who serve hundreds of independent sales agents across the country. And last year, they processed almost $2 billion in volume and are projecting to over double that this year. Very exciting stuff. Welcome to the show, Justin.
Awesome. Thanks, Tim. Thanks for having me here, bro. Appreciate it.
Okay, great. Why don't you give us a quick snapshot of PayCompass right now?
Yeah. So, PayCompass, like you mentioned, electronic payments company. We're really focusing on merchant services, credit card processing. Everybody's got kind of different words for it, for sure. But what we do is, we work with independent salespeople across the country. We have a couple hundred salespeople across the country, and our focus is on supporting their needs. They're out there in their neighborhoods and their communities, building relationships with local business owners. They're trying to sell them on various business solutions, and we're here to support their needs, to support their the success they're trying to build. So, really what PayCompass does is that we provide the credit card processing services, the solutions, the hardware, the software, everything in between, and our salespeople are just building those relationships in their communities. So whether it be anything from your straightforward credit card terminal sitting on a counter, or a big complex app or e-commerce, or everything in between, we help facilitate the payments going through those systems. Okay,
so first of all, what markets are you in? All the major markets? Are you national?
We're actually in all 50 states.
Okay.
Yeah, about 6 months ago, we got our first account in Alaska, so we're able to say we're actually all 50 states. Yeah,
nailed it.
Yeah, we got her finally. But we're in all 50 states. We're actually international,
wow.
At a large extent, but we have some customers in Europe and in Asia as well. So we have some international as well. But all 50 states and all types of businesses as well. So I always say everything from your guy that's selling carrots at the farmer's market all the way up to the largest businesses. They all need to take credit cards, and we're here to help any of them.
Okay. How much of your team is involved in supporting the sales versus doing the tech processing and so forth?
The vast majority of it is supporting I would say 100% is focused on supporting the sales agent. So the tech side of it itself, there's some really robust solutions out there, vendors out there.
Okay.
Have all that part done. So we just plug into their system, and it pretty much works. And so at the end of the day, everybody here in our office, we have about 35 people and growing. We actually made a couple more offers today to people. All of that is about supporting the sales agents and supporting the customers that those sales agents sign up.
Okay. I've been in all sorts of places, and there are times when the system is down or there's no signal or things like that. Can you speak to those challenges and how they've gotten better, I'm sure, over time?
Absolutely. So my background is I started as a feet on the street sales guy in this industry. So wind almost 20 years ago, I grew up in Des Moines, Iowa. That's where I'm originally from.
Okay.
And
nice. The Midwest
guys. Yeah. And so I grew up there and stumbled into this profession. And one of the things you pride yourself on is that I'm going to be available. I'm going to be there in my local community. If you call me at 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday, you're running a busy bar, you need your credit card machine to be working. I need to be there.
Right.
And the motivation behind that, of course, is that in our world, you're paid based upon the profitability each month. Every salesperson is. And so you have a vested interest when they call at 10 o'clock on a Saturday to take that call and solve it. So the key behind that, though, is that, if you're salesperson / service person, you have to have a really great support team behind you, because you're standing there and you don't know really what's going on necessarily. So you have to have an 800 number to call somebody to help you. That's really a big focus of ours. we've grown tremendously on the support team. We have a full-fledged support team here in our office to make sure that when a merchant, our business owners across America are having that outage, that time when the machine's not working, that we're able to minimize how long it's down, because you're going to have technology fail. It's going to happen, but let's minimize how often it's down and how long it's down, so it minimizes the impact on the business.
Okay. Before we geek out, I want to go into the weeds a little bit, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Before we do that, though, what percentage of it is providing onboarding support and sales support versus technical support for your sales affiliates?
I'd say about so tech support, like kind of the ongoing support of the merchant and the agents, is about a third of our business, a third of our team here. The other 2/3 are pre-sales, are software development, marketing, finance, other support methods.
Okay. So this is the weeds question for you. How, I mean, back in the day, right? You just trusted somebody. You'd run their card, and you'd go run it later or check it out later, right? Yeah. And it depends on the transaction amount and such. But let's say somebody loses signal from the local tower or whatever. I've seen some places that still transact and they just run your stuff the next day.
Yeah.
Do you have that sort of technology where you can do a certain amount on a particular card, and then just next time you have signal, transact?
You can. The danger though in that, and we always, it's an old adage in our business called store and forward. It's you're just literally storing the card details and then transmitting it later. The danger in that is you're not getting a live authorization. So in the world of credit card processing, everything goes off that authorization. Hey, I have an authorization code, and it's all done digitally. Back in the day, we used to have the old knuckle. We call them knuckle busters. We slide them. Right. You literally would write down the authorization code. I mean, back in the day, they would literally call an 800 number and then write down the authorization code on that piece of paper. Now it's all done digitally and nobody sees it. If you don't receive an authorization code, then as a business owner, you're taking on the risk that that card you're storing and then transmitting later is going to go through. And if it doesn't, you're stuck with there's no repercussions for you. You're stuck with that fail sale. So it is definitely it's a technology out there, and a lot of people use it. Fortunately, in the last 20 years, I sound like the old timer, like back in my day, right? We had a lot of connectivity problems. We had a lot of outage problems, different technology, things like that. Fortunately, today's day and age, we don't see that too often, Okay. And the beauty is usually you can revert to your cell phone if you need to. If you have a Wi-Fi outage or an internet outage, you can grab your cell phone, hotspot off it real quick. Almost all these devices are now Wi-Fi capable, or even we offer a complimentary app on everybody's phone. They can download and run cards that way, if they need or to kind of get by in a fix. So,
I guess just this sort of bookend of that question is, you must have a pretty good idea on particular markets, price points and clientele in certain areas, the frequency with which that store and whatever, in which what percentage of those are going to fail to go through? Is it a pretty high risk thing or not really? Is in this day and age?
It's really not. I mean,
that's what I figured.
You're going to see less than 10% that are going to fail, unless you broadcast it. If you simply say, oh, hey, sorry, we're having issues, sorry, then you're gonna have some people maybe gonna grab that card they know is no longer good, right?
Right. Drinks on me tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So as long as you don't broadcast it, usually you're under 10%.
Okay.
Probably normally under 5%, I'd say, at most places. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was hoping.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I've seen there's a couple of big players in this space, but there's a mix. Can you talk a little bit about what sets PayCompass apart?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all selling the same basic solution, right? We're selling a the ability for you to accept credit cards and get a deposit the next day with the money that's owed to you, and have reasonable fees. That we're all basically selling similar things. Really, the large difference, the massive difference between companies like PayCompass, and there are others out there that are amazing. They do the same work as we do, but we're really setting aside from the big behemoth companies out there is customer service. Is the big thing. It's not a matter of if you're going to have problems. It's just when you're going to have problems. And knowing that I can call an 800 number, or I can call my local rep who's in my community, whether it's 10 o'clock on a Saturday night or 3 o'clock on a Sunday morning, it doesn't matter, that you're going to be able to get a solution and you're going to be able to get help. That's a very, very important thing. The other thing I think is, the reliability of solutions. Reliability of deposits, knowing that my money is going to be there when it's supposed to be there the next day, is critical. That's a huge issue in our industry, is that doesn't always happen.
Okay.
And then the last, I think, absolute most important thing, from a business owner perspective, is that I signed up today. I met with a salesperson. I signed up for my credit card processing. I know what the rates are today, but are they going to be the same 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now? Companies like PayCompass, when we sign up somebody, the rate today is the rate you're going to be seeing 6 months from now, a year from now. There's not any hidden fees, junk fees, little, you didn't read, section 7, paragraph 3. We don't have any of those things. No junk fees or hidden fees. Most of your big, large players out there, they don't have the local service. They have if you need help, you're on an 800 number, or some big companies, they don't have an 800 number. You just have to email in for support or do a live chat. There's sometimes a lot of issues with I wouldn't say sometimes, there's a lot of issues with deposits coming on time and predictability of those deposits. Okay. And then third is there's
that rate creep.
Yeah, new rate creeps all the time.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like your business is going really well. You've been able to double, and you're anticipating over doubling again. So, as you grow, what's been one of the important or secrets for you for growing? Maybe that's more salespeople, or just your salespeople being more empowered. But also, are you buying other people's markets and acquiring any other groups yet?
Yeah, we've not done any acquiring, and we don't really have any of that on the horizon. Never against it, of course, but we haven't done any of that. I think what's driven our success over the last 5 years, really, and this all started January 1st, 2020, when we launched PayCompass. So right before a global pandemic. I highly recommend that, by the way. But we launched PayCompass, and the growth, we didn't, the concept of our type of business is called an ISO. It stands for Independent Sales Organization, ISO. Mm-hmm. The concept of ISO is nothing new. There's thousands of companies out there that do what we do. What PayCompass did differently is we empowered the sales agents in a much different way than anyone else has done before. Our concept at Agent First, our mantra is Agent First. So when you partner with PayCompass as an independent sales agent, you have access to more solutions, you have better pricing, you have better support. So all of a sudden, when you're looking at all your choices of different solutions or different partners, you're evaluating 10 of them, 9 of them are going to look the same, and then PayCompass kind of stands out on its own. So that's really been our recipe for success, is that we're not the ones out there signing up the businesses. If it's a chiropractor in Kalamazoo, we're not the ones signing them up. We're not the ones with a relationship with it. It's the sales agent in that area. They have the relationship. We're just working hard to make sure we have the relationship with that sales agent, and that we support their needs to ensure they keep bringing their business our way. So that's really been the secret sauce for us, is focusing on supporting the sales agents to the highest extent we can.
Okay. How do you recruit those sort of agents?
Yeah, actually, it's almost all word of mouth. Over our 5 years, we now have hundreds of sales agents across the country selling for us. And we've never had, until literally we finally now have a sales recruiter. She just started, within the last 60 days. But prior to that, all been word of mouth, complete 100% organic. either people that, worked with me in the past, worked with other people in the past, word of mouth, reached out on LinkedIn, saw us at a trade show, things like that. Just organic growth over the last 5 years.
Okay. Do you partner with any particular, I don't know, maybe other retail vendors that maybe service some of the same things that you can get package deals with people to get into bigger markets or more stores?
We don't on a formal like corporate level, but it's something that I heavily encourage our sales agents to do, because when I was selling, that's how I built my business, was off of networking and referral partners. Find other people in your market. When I was in Des Moines, Des Moines is a relatively small town. We kind of had a group of sales guys that one of them was selling health insurance to businesses. One of them was selling copiers to business. I was selling merchant services. One of them was selling janitorial services.
Right.
We would get together regularly and just kind of share, hey, I'm trying to get an introduction into so-and-so's place. Chances are one of those 5 guys knew somebody already there, or, oh yeah, I'm already working with them. Let me help you make an introduction. That networking, that kind of, bundling of knowledge or networks was absolutely critical for me, and something I highly encourage all of our salespeople to do.
Okay. Very cool. Are you like on the App Store, if people don't need a sales rep, if they just go, oh, I just need a merchant services app for transacting with people?
We don't do that. Everything we do flows through, because there is an underwriting process. The danger of that, and there are a lot of companies out there that, I would say a lot, there's a few companies out there that do that. What they're doing is they have set up basically a risk profile and said, hey, we're going to sign up everybody, and we're going to assume that everyone fits inside this box, right? Not everybody's going to fit inside that box. And so the problem is if they're not underwritten ahead of time, and 2 weeks later, they run a large transaction. Let's say they're a restaurant. They've signed up, everything's going well. All of a sudden now they have a catering job and they run a $5,000 transaction. With us, we've underwritten them ahead of time. We've already done our risk parameters. We know, hey, the risk is very low here. It's okay. That's an anomaly. Everything's good.
Right.
With the places that have not underwritten them ahead of time, all of a sudden that's a huge red flag. The internet is filled with stories of those companies that will suddenly hold funds. You can't get a hold of anyone. We're going to release them when we feel like the risk parameters are gone, because they're worried about potential chargebacks and losing their
right.
So we've never gone down that path, because it's not a customer service centric path. It's very much, hey, let's make it as easy as possible, but it leads to a lot of issues down the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, those were the main questions I had for you. All great answers. Thank you. I think it's very cool stuff. What are some of the challenges you've had to overcome in PayCompass?
I think it's really been, we believe in challenging the status quo in everything we do, and that brings on its own, issues, right? We're trying to really blaze a path that many others have not in our industry. We don't want to do things just like everybody else did them. And so finding staff and finding, partners that believe in that same approach can be difficult at times, right? Because everyone assumes you're going to do it this certain way. That part's been difficult. I think, there's a few other things I could talk about, but I think the absolute most difficult thing for us has been, when we formed PayCompass, my wife and I started PayCompass. One of the things we wanted to be is we did not want agents or salespeople out there to have to say no to customers. I always felt like the hardest part of sales in the merchant services industry is getting the appointment, getting the business owner to say, hey man, I'll sit down with you and give you 20, 30 minutes to chat. Once I have that conversation, I should not now be limited by the products I have available. I should have just such a huge array of products that no matter what you want, I can fulfill your needs. Unfortunately, that's not the case in most places. Most places have a very limited product offering. At PayCompass, we wanted to make sure we had everything available to everybody, so that when you're sitting there, you could say, hey, I got you. I got that solution.
What are your problems? What are your needs?
Exactly.
I got that.
I got you. Not only do I have one, I've got them in black, red, or yellow. Which one do you want? Right? I've got different solutions for you. So But what that means for our team in here is they have to learn a lot of products. They have to learn a lot of different solutions. So we have a product support team that helps the agents before the sale. They have to know everything. And then we have support team on the backside of it that has to support everything after it's sold. They have to learn everything as well. So that's a challenge, is kind of trying to have all these different solutions and having the right people there to support them all the way through.
Okay. Excellent. So I think I like to ask what some of your biggest goals are for the company. I think I know what those are. They're to go over 4 billion this year, right?
That's a big one for us for sure.
Nice. Okay. How about big goals for you personally?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I just want to continue having fun, honestly. My wife and I love to travel. Both of our kids are now graduated out of college. And so we have a lot of free time to more awesome. Free time to travel now. So we love traveling, and I'm fortunate to, her and I work together here at PayCompass side by side. And we're fortunate that now we have such an amazing team that we can take time off. I've never been able to do that in my life. Be able to really truly disconnect and walk away for a little bit and say, hey, you guys got this. I trust you.
Yeah, that's a well-oiled machine. Well done.
It's awesome. It's awesome to be there and know that we can still grow and still thrive without us having to be there is awesome. So continue to travel, continue seeing the world, and just, help grow this business, help grow opportunities for a lot of sales agents out there that honestly in our industry are being taken advantage of. Help them find a better home, a better opportunity to where they can build success and build that financial freedom that they're all looking for.
Okay. Excellent. So it sounds like things are going really good for the company. Looking towards the future, this is the Phoenix Prosperity Podcast. In terms of keeping that going and the momentum, a lot of people look for trying to get some sort of alternative income, right, to supplement things. So as they start dialing back and go on more vacations and stuff, that they have, and the big thing nowadays, which is smart, is non-correlated assets. I was wondering if you could share your thoughts about that.
Yeah, I think it's an absolute. I think you should for sure be looking at ways to diversify income streams. I mean, if you're relying 100% on one thing, surprises can happen, and obviously not always in the greatest way. So
no,
I think diversifying income streams is, I've done that most of my life, whether it be through real estate or other business ventures. I think it's important though to, when you think about, various income streams, is making sure it's not something that's going to take a lot of your time, right? Trusting in others that have done it, trusting others that are doing it, or investing in ways where you don't have to spend a lot of time doing it, but trust in those that know what they're doing, and you work on the thing that you know what you're doing, invest heavily.
Right. That's kind of my niche, right? Is now in real estate. I share some of these investments which are passive for the investors. They get to partake in real estate, but there are a lot of people who like that side gig. They want to go swing a hammer, and they like doing that stuff. So that depends exactly. What they're looking for. Sure.
I've had rental properties a good part of my life, and in the early days, I was the guy over there, fixing the toilet and changing things out, and I don't want to do that anymore, right?
No,
that's not the best use of my time. So,
100%. That's a lot of my investors are successful high income earners, and they've realized that I'm done trying to do this myself. It's just not the return on my time.
Exactly.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, so is all your team here in Phoenix?
So we have a handful of people that are we have a handful of people that are remote, but the vast majority are here. 99% of them are here.
Okay. I have a reflection question I like to ask about what do you wish you knew sooner about building wealth and success earlier in your career?
I would say what I knew, or what if I wish I knew earlier, is how the power of compound interest and starting younger.
Okay.
I've just having this conversation with my 23-year-old daughter the other day, and showing her something as simple as, $50 a month, what that can look like, or $50 a week, what that can look like, 30, 40 years from now. I started investing at a later age than I probably should have. And if, the saving a latte here or there, or a night out, going out to dinner. I wish I had really I understood it, but really grasped that at a much younger age.
Right.
Okay. It would have been awesome.
Right. That's a common answer. A lot of people, they kind of knew it, but they figured they had more time, and it wasn't an urgent thing. But yeah, they don't appreciate the power of that growth.
For sure. For sure.
All right, Justin, if people want to connect with you or learn more, what should they do?
You can check out any of our social media channels. Just PayCompass, PayCompass. Or you can check out our website as well, which is www.paycompass.com. And we'd love to connect with you, help you out anytime.
All right. Excellent. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Thank you very much, Justin Volrath, for joining me today. We appreciate you sharing your story and insights into success and merchant services.
All right. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Inspired by our guests? Visit PhoenixProsperityPodcast.com/guest and join us on the show and share your success story with Tim. The spotlight awaits.